Hello everyone and welcome back to my tarot parlor. Today is another timeless reading, but by the time that I'm filming this, we are right in spooky season right now. Your girl is back right on time for Halloween, of course. So we are in a season of release right now. We are in a season of honoring the dead and allowing things to die to go into gestation for the winter until we come back for our rebirth during the coming of spring. So I was taking a walk outside looking at how beautiful the leaves are and just thinking to myself, what better time than to dive into your cursed self. I'm going to do a reading about it. But on a more serious note, you guys know by now that I've been a witchcraft practitioner for quite some time, for quite a lot of moons. And for when it comes to the theme of curses and axes, I know how touchy this subject can be. I know that everybody seems to have a different opinion about this subject matter. Even in a witchcraft community itself, we don't seem to all get along for when it comes to this topic. And in my opinion, there's also a lot of fear mongering surrounding that. I find that the word curse gets thrown around too easily at times, and people tend to have a lot of different ideas and beliefs about what that means. So before I get into your reading, let me share with you guys my personal perspective on this subject, because I feel like it's important if I'm going to make a video about it. To me, a curse is not always like this super grand act of malicious intent directed towards you to bring your soul to burn in hell with the rest of the damned. In fact, I often kind of see it as coincidental type of magic most of the time. I don't think it's the right term, but I'm still going to use it for the purpose of this video, meaning that we don't need other people to curse us in order to experience from time to time a stream of bad luck or of hardship, misfortune, loss, pain, tragedy. All of these things are a natural part of life that we're all going to have to go through. They are part of the human experience. They shape us, and they might even give life its meaning. And that being said, I truly feel, me myself personally, that we're the ones that tend to curse ourselves a lot more than other people ever do. I feel like a lot of the curses thrown around, like most curses that might exist out there, are actually self-inflicted. And that's why two completely different people can go through the same exact experience and internalize it into completely different ways. One person might think that because they've been through this experience that they're doomed, that things are never going to work out for them, that they must have a chip on their shoulder, that they're an unlucky person or undeserving kind of person. And another person going through that same experience might see it as, that's a lesson, that's a catalyst for my growth. And in my experience, curses can truly only ever take hold if someone else, the target of that curse, is in a mentally, emotionally, or spiritually vulnerable place. When we are already feeling weak, unguarded, unprotected. And in that sense, they almost work as psychic suggestions, if you will. And whether or not this suggestion lands depends on the current state of the person receiving it. Think of it a little bit like trying to insult someone. Now, if the insult hits a wound that's already open, it's going to stick. The person might feel personally attacked. They might get defensive. They might start to internalize it and start to believe it. And that's when this evil eye, or this energy, if you will, it takes hold. It hooks onto its host to where that very insult may start to shape the reality of this person. Throw that same insult to someone that is grounded and very self-aware, and it might pass them 10 feet above their head, you know? It won't land. They just see it as it is, maybe a projection or just noise, energy that isn't theirs to carry. So to me, curses are not just about what's being sent. They're about what's being received, what you allow inside of your energetic body, if you will, or what you allow in as your new reality. And so if we believe in it in that way, then our biggest protection against curses becomes our own sense of self-awareness, our sense of awareness of our surroundings as well, of our own conditioning, our own sense of personal sovereignty over who and what gets to enter inside of our own energy. And sometimes, a lot of the times, not all of the time, okay, but most of the time in my experience, when a curse actually works, it's not because the person is weak or because someone else's intention or magic or power overpowers theirs, but it's often because on a deep subconscious level, they recognize the energy being sent their way, or they match it. It acknowledges something unhealed, unrecognized, unresolved in themselves, or sometimes in their lineage. Like an open door, the suggestion can walk through. So curses work kind of like an energetic mirror. They reveal where we might still be holding on to guilt, to shame, to resentment, to fear that resonates with the energy of the curse. The curse finds resonance, and that resonance gives it power. It's not that the person deserves it, okay? It's just that this energy finds the right place to land. And that can happen especially if a person is consciously or subconsciously susceptible to accept the narrative of the curse as true, to where they think, you know what, maybe I am unlucky, maybe my family does have its history and therefore I'm powerless, or you know what, maybe I did do something wrong. And that acceptance is powerful because it gives permission for this energy to slip. So from that perspective, a curse can work not because of its sender, not because of its host, because of resonance. It hooks onto something already present, whether this is an old wound, a fear, a karmic pattern, or a belief we haven't transmuted yet. And that's why self-awareness, healing, self-forgiveness, self-acceptance are such powerful forms of protection against this. When we no longer carry the energetic match for that harm, it has nowhere to stick. You know the saying, pain exists, right? But suffering is a choice? A little bit like that, similar. So I hope that this explanation helps kind of tone the manic panic surrounding this subject a little bit down. The beautiful thing about this though is that I don't think that we are always constantly necessarily throwing curses at each other, at ourselves around all the time, but we are also breaking curses all the time. You know, every time that we choose to claim our power instead of staying powerless, anytime that we choose forgiveness over bitterness, or self-trust over fear, we are dissolving energetic threads that once held power over us. So it was just to tell you today that breaking a curse doesn't always have something to do with like lighting up a candle or saying a prayer or, you know, doing some sort of spell work in sacred space. But most of the time it happens in layers of consciousness. Okay, as we are healing from certain things or understanding our past from a new psychological lens. Okay, someone going through psychotherapy is breaking curses. Someone deciding to rewrite the script that has been running down their family for generations is breaking a curse. So as soon as we are reclaiming our own energy from old stories, old beliefs that don't belong to us, that have been maybe passed down to us or projected upon us, we are banishing something from our life. And that's what this reading is all about today. So I hope that this reading will inspire you to see the spells at play everywhere inside of your life, and also break the ones that are just so fucking useless at this point because they're just poisoning your joy, your potential, your abundance. And I wish that for you guys this season and so much more. So without further ado, let's go into the pile selection. I feel like this intro was a long one. In a few moments, you guys will be presented with a different pile selection, And as usual, all that you have to do is take this time of meditation to really recenter and maybe ask your guides to come in and help you connect with the pal or the group that has a message for you. And once your choice is done, head down in the description box down below and click on a timestamp associated with your pile. And it is there that I will meet you on your reading, my little apple crullers, okay? Hello, Pal 1, and welcome to your reading. So let's go on ahead and let's dive into the cards that you guys have received to see which curse or binding you guys are currently breaking inside of your life, any soul contract that could be ready to dissolve. And yeah, let's see what we've got. We have here... This is the Eight of Pentacles, and it came out reversed for you guys. Then we have the Queen of Pentacles, and she is also reversed. Then next up we have, oh, look at this. We have the Queen of Wands reversed. Then we have Strength. And then in your oracle cards, we have Audrey Lorde, and this is the card of Justice. Then we have Charlotte Perkins Gilman. This is the card of Freedom. Then we have the card of Flight. This is from the movie The Witch. And finally, we have the card of Celebration. This is from Carrie. So right away, the first feeling I've got that was very, very strong, and I know that it will sound like a very specific thing to say in a video like this because I'm aware I'm talking to a lot of people at the same time here. But some of you here on this panel today may definitely have ancestors who have been enslaved, or maybe that you had a grandparent who has been through some form of social injustice here. With this card of Audre Lorde, Charlotte Perkins, I don't know why, but this is just something very strong here about this pal for some reason. And it's okay if it might not necessarily resonate with you, but it's just a first impression that I had. And with this kind of strength here, there's just so much about, there's just so much tied to survival. I also heard violence and also resilience. Just a lot of resilience here, especially coming from the mother line here with those two queens. So that being said, there's a couple of different messages meant probably for different people here who felt called to this pal. But first off, I am definitely seeing a contract surrounding a mother figure here, or a primary nurturer with those two queens reversed. You guys could be breaking a curse that has you freeing your own mother's line, or you could be freeing from a contract having to do with the mother, or the ways that you've been mothered, or the ways you've been raised. Some of you could definitely be breaking that by the ways that you're remothering yourself or choosing to consciously mother your own children, maybe deciding to show up in your own motherhood role, especially if you've become a mother recently, some of you, or have become a parent if you're a man. Or this could also be through the ways some of you chose to not have children at all, even. And if you resonate with that, then you either always had a very, very tight relationship with your mother, or on the opposite side, you always had a very, very broken one. And I feel that if this is you, then you're going to break the bind by no longer picking up on the work and the labor and the burdens with this Eight of Pentacles reversed in the Strength card that your mother has obliged herself to carry throughout her own lifetime, if you will. And it's super interesting too, because the Eight of Pentacles reversed really came across to me as like a perfectionistic mindset somehow. So maybe that your mother, for some of you, was a kind of like a nitpicky kind of person, or maybe that she was very neat or very detail oriented, or maybe that the woman on your mother's line carries some sort of karma relating to appearances, especially with the Queen of Pentacles reversed right next to this card, and how preserving appearances was more important maybe than showing up as vulnerable with the Strength card and Queen of Wands reversed, maybe. Showing up as, her most raw, authentic self. Strength could be this energy where your mother could have raised you to always hold it together as well. Kind of like a strict kind of figure here, maybe even. Maybe controlling or maybe smothering, even one of these two, I'm not sure. But yeah, she could have been this person that raised you to be strong, kind of like no matter what, even when you didn't feel strong, or even when it wasn't your role to be strong, Pawan. And if you can relate with this, then you guys have started to confront that narrative lately. I'm getting the strong feeling of, for some reason, I feel because you know that you have to kind of like drop it. And Pawan, whether this is related to your mother or not, I definitely feel like you guys are learning to release a lot of perfectionism in general, especially if you're an artist as well, or if you're a creator, because the Queen's energy is all about showing different sides of the Empress, which rules all of the queens. This is something that I'm talking about a lot in the tarot course I'm currently building. But yeah, all of the queens represent sort of different aspects of the Empress, if you will. And it's all about different ways in which creatrix energy manifests. Someone here could definitely have a Leo moon as well, because I'm picking up on that energy vividly. Like I'm picking up on this story where it's almost as if like pleasing your mother or getting her approval could have been such an impossible job here with the Eight of Pentacles reversed. It could have been such a tedious task. Some of you here on this spot could even relate with this part of the message, even if you don't have a Leo moon, by the way, but this could also be Capricorn moon as well. I'm picking up here, but there's just something here having to do with all of the standards and expectations that you guys have picked up for some reason, and you're severing cords with that at this stage of your journey. I'm also picking up Libra moon here. I just received that from Spirit. It's just like those weird themes here about, preserving appearances, sort of like releasing all of the baggage or expectations your mother carried and maybe passed on to you for some reason. And let me also say too, okay, wow, I'm getting like so much here about this spell, but some of you could definitely have a connection with an ancestor who actually was a powerful witch, with this card of flight here with the movie The Witch. And if you're a woman, then breaking the perfect sort of like good girl narrative, if you will, to kind of like express yourself, like enter your Queen of Wands and express yourself unapologetically in what you do for a living or what you do as an art or as a craft, whatever this could be that you create, is a way for this ancestor to find healing here. And I'm getting this vibe here of an ancestor that could have been persecuted or who has maybe gone through injustice, like I was saying earlier, with this God of justice and freedom here. And you finding your freedom, okay, as a woman or as a person of color or as a queer or as someone from a marginalized group, whatever this could be, as someone who has an unorthodox path. You don't have to be necessarily a woman, by the way. That's not at all. But it could be that you're someone walking some sort of unbeaten path here. Could be breaking here occurs having to do with a lot of suppression and a lot of silencing. Maybe occurs having to do with also reducing the value and worth from the identity somehow with this Queen of Pentacles reverse. There's so much here having to do with like having the strength and the courage with this God of strength to like perform authentically, because strength is a performer. She's like the lion tamer in a circus, cruelty free though, right? But she's not a circus act, but she's all about demonstration. The strength card, and people are in awe of her, and they gather around her because they cannot believe their eyes. They cannot believe what they can see. They cannot believe that what she could make happen with a different approach. So I feel like there's a lot here having to do with like the pressure of fitting in somehow and dropping the load that so many women before you have carried in your family, or just from, again, the mother's line. For some reason I keep picking up on that, or it could just be someone passed it on to you. I keep feeling Pawan, and this is the pressure to either overdo or overwork, overextend yourself with this Eight of Pentacles reverse, the pressure to prove your worth somewhere. And a lot of you guys here on this spell could have often felt like the black sheep here. And I feel that this is why we have cards from the movie The Witch and from the movie Carrie. Like those are two outcasts, these main characters here. Very good movies, by the way. I love these two movies. Hope you've watched them already, because you're definitely missing out on something if you haven't. But I feel like those cards almost came in to describe you guys in some way. And with this kind of celebration here from Carrie, I'm picking up that you guys somewhere have worked so hard and gave so much, and there's a crown that you deserve somewhere, but you guys are owing yourself some gratitude. Okay, gratitude that has been hard for you to get or earn somehow in the past. But that's the spell breaking in your life. I feel Pawan here. This feeling of being on a merry-go-round, always working your ass off and never feeling like you're acknowledged or appreciated enough, or never feeling like you're being put on the light that you deserve for what you do or accomplish. There's a curse here breaking as well with the strength card of being unforgiving of yourself, where you find that you're not doing enough or aren't perfect enough with this Eight of Pentacles reversed and with the Two Queens reversed. When the results are not satisfactory for you in terms of progress or in terms of productivity here, if it's been hard to pause and take a moment to celebrate yourself without feeling guilty, Pawan, this is how you break the curse right now, okay? By lifting your head up and truly noticing how far you've come. It's important to not be so expecting in terms of what you need to do, that you forget to see what you have done already. You guys need to do a celebration ritual for yourself right now. Okay, it's like almost mandatory here, Spirit is saying. So that's coming through as an advice here. But make a bubble bath to yourself, or buy yourself a bottle of champagne, or make a make a custom cake for yourself, like me, like I did this summer for my 5th year in business. You know, it's so funny because I resonate so much with this spell, because I always had the hardest times to reward myself I know that we all tend to be so tough with ourselves. And I feel like we don't realize sometimes how that toughness that we mistake for resilience can sometimes put a whole curse on ourselves and make things just like such a battle and such a resistance. I feel like this type of attitude can start cutting ourselves off from pleasure, or to where our pleasure can become conditional, or it can almost become a taboo thing for ourselves. And us humans, we're creatures of pleasure. Okay, pleasure is part of our birthright. It's part of our balance for our own well-being here. And if you don't agree, sue me. Okay, I'm a firm believer that we're not just here to work or to serve, but we're here to enjoy our life and our time here as well. Otherwise, we get into depression. And of course, balance is key. But you know what I mean? If you guys have been punitive with yourselves or cutting yourselves off from pleasure a lot lately, it's time to restore this sort of balance here, because self-discipline or self-criticism can become a curse if it is not done consciously with consent and self-lovingly. Okay, there's a big difference here in between self-disciplined in a self-loving way and being it in an unself-loving way. But let's draw a couple of oracle cards now to see what's coming from this curse breaking for you guys. What energies are going to sort of get liberated through that? Let's see. And we have here the gentleman, okay? And we have the birds. Now, I know that this will sound strange, but in the classic Lenormand, the gentleman card can either represent the querent, depending if the querent is a male, or it can also represent a man, a masculine figure in the querent's life. And the card of the birds is all about chatter, communication, news, and stuff like that, conversations, and things. So it will sound very weird. Okay, only take this if it resonates, and if it's going to light up a green light for you. But if you've been waiting for some news from some man inside of your life, or if you've been waiting on some sort of communication back again, I feel like breaking this curse here is going to free up that. For some reason, it might also facilitate communication with some sort of life partner as well, whether you're a man or whether you're a woman. But also with the gentleman card, what I'm picking up is that it's possible that for you, Bawan, the divine masculine force or energy inside of your life may have not known how to protect your own divine feminine energy while you were sort of enveloped here in that energy of that curse. So it's very interesting because it's like more support inside of your life may come through out of breaking this energy here or clearing that from your life, or maybe as well that it's just going to free up miscommunications, misunderstandings that there's been around you with someone else instead of your life. For some reason, intuitively, that's what I'm picking up with those two cards. Let's see what else is coming through. Spirit, what other energy is this going to free up in Palawan's life to break out this curse here? Ooh! Okay, this is a lot of cards that just flew out. But we have here the card of harvest that fell down on the floor. And it says here, as the waves of the ocean are infinite, as the trees in the forest grow tall, let my work now bring me to harvest. I'm ready to receive my all. So funny because this is so on team with this Eight of Pentacles reversed here. I feel like it's almost like work or the results from your work are going to become so much more effortless from breaking this energy here, guys. It's almost as though you guys thought or were maybe operating from this stance of thinking that maybe working harder would get you to the results that you wanted somewhere in your life, whether this was in your relationships or whether this is concerning a situation in particular, whether this is concerning your work or something like that. And look at this sensuality here, your freedom flowing from far away. I dance, I love, I laugh, I play. It's just effortless. It feels more flowy. Do you see how this woman here, it looks like she's almost bathing in water. She looks like a water nymph, almost she's got that fishtail here. And it's just flowing. It really makes me think of like harvest, like the results of what you've been working so hard at, flowing in and coming in more effortlessly as you sort of stop relying so much on yourself that you're putting on this barricade for like someone to be able to reach you or someone else to be able to understand you, Pawan, so that they can help you or bring in the support that you need. It's so odd because I keep picking up that this wasn't impacting your relationship somehow. Even if this is work related, I feel like if this is work related, maybe you've been spending too much time at work even, or you've been almost like maybe swooped up in work, or maybe you've been just escaping a lot of emotional turmoil in your life, maybe through your work or something like that. Maybe that you tend to be stressed when you tend to be you feel emotionally overloaded. You tend to almost like resort to flee in your work, maybe. But this is freeing the space here for someone to be able to understand you, to get you, and to feel more supported, to be able to receive. I'm ready to receive my all here, it says. So it's less work and more receiving. You guys are just coming inside of a season of that, it seems here. So prepare for your blessings and your abundance to flow a lot more effortlessly, and prepare for any kind of blocks surrounding communication with someone else with this gentleman card and this bird's card here, or maybe a flow of news that has sort of been halted and you've been waiting to receive some kind of like answer or some kind of communication back in return. I'm not sure what this could be, but this could create a new flow here. This could unclog this sort of channel here, what I'm picking up there, once you dispel this energy inside of your life. But Pawan, this is all that I'm picking up for you. Thank you so much for having shared sacred space with me and allow me to read your cards. If you've been interested to work with me one-on-one, the links to my website and my Etsy shop will be down below in the description box. It will be my absolute pleasure to meet you and to do a personal reading for you, for sure, on any matter you may have that need specific attention. And also, I left the links to my social medias if you guys want to check me out, follow my work, or maybe see where I'll be next for a future live gig. And yeah, on that, I send you so much love and a very, very big cosmic hug. Mwah. See you in the next one. Hello, Pal 2, and welcome to your reading. So let's dive into the cards that you guys have received to see which curse or binding you guys are currently breaking inside of your life. Any kind of soul contract that could be ready to dissolve. Let's see what we've got. So we are starting with the Devil reversed. Then we've got the Wheel or Fortune. Then we have, this is the King of Pentacles. Kind of looking really badass, the King of Pentacles in this deck. I really love how they decided to depict him. Almost like kind of like a mob. Very cool. Anyway. Then we've got the Two of Pentacles. And then in your oracle cards, we have the Curse. And this is from the movie The Circle. I know that it was the first movie that traumatized a lot of millennials out there. For sure, big classic. All right, and we've got here the Devil. And this is from the movie hexen, I believe, if I'm pronouncing that right. Hexen or something like that, hexen. Then we have bees. And finally, we've got Jamaica Kincaid history. It's so funny that in a reading about curse, you guys legit got the card of the curse here. From my horror oracle deck. And this is from the movie The Circle, like I was saying. And not only that, but you guys received the energy of the devil twice here. Not only in your oracle cards, but in your tarot cards. So this is wild. I feel like you guys are my intense pal. You guys on my pal too. I'm picking up may feel like something has been following you around for a very long time, almost like a dark cloud of some kind, or maybe that you've been trying to rid yourself of something here for a very long time, especially with those pentacles cards here too. This could be something that you guys don't even carry from just this one lifetime. It could be past life related discourse here for some of you, but if some of you here have the feeling like something a bit dark is chasing you, or like you're spiritually under attack, or that something unseen keeps trying to drain or test you, please don't doubt your instincts, but also don't feel powerless. Okay, don't hesitate or feel ashamed of putting every spiritual arsenal on your side right now, whether that means salt baths, cleansing prayers, working with sound, herbs, smoke medicine, and protective crystals. Use what resonates with you or your practice, whatever resonates with your spirit, but don't hesitate to do a return back to sender kind of spell if you feel the calling to, if you feel like you have someone to watch out for inside of your life right now. And a back to sender spell is very different than a banishment. By the way, in a banishment, we just send an energy that doesn't belong in this realm back into the ether. But when we do a back to sender spell, it's actually like we're putting on a mirror almost that acts as a shield. So anything thrown our way reflects right back in that mirror at whoever has been projecting that energy on us, if you will. So they might absorb it themselves in accordance with divine justice, of course. And that being said, though, it's crazy because I know that this message will translate in so many different ways since I'm reading for many different people here, but I feel it so clearly. It's so strong. So pal 2, what I see here is that you guys are breaking a curse right now, having to do with defeating some sort of karmic attachment, especially with the Wheel of Fortune here, which is the Wheel of Karma, and then the King of Pentacles, the King of Worth, value, possessions, and stuff like that, ownership, responsibility, and then the Two of Pentacles here. And then on this Devil card right here, there are like puppet strings coming from the hands of that devilish character here. Almost as though someone else or something else could be at the other end of that. And you guys had to cut those chains of what you feel is stronger than you or taking a hold of you. I feel like you guys have been ready to let something go here, of letting go of a very serious toxic attachment here, maybe that more than likely has been in control of your life, maybe even your finances or your health or your physical environment or physical reality with this King of Pentacles and Two of Pentacles. It's very scary maybe to let this attachment go. Maybe that some of you did it recently actually, or some of you are on the brink of doing that. I'm getting the sense of. And I see cycles here with the spell, especially with the Wheel of Fortune and the Two of Pentacles. Almost like there could have been a lot of ups and downs with something, or maybe that you guys have tried to release yourself or free yourself from something a couple of times before. Maybe you've tried to free yourself from this pattern many times in the past, maybe only to return and then only to try to break away again, only to be pulled back in again. But there's something that has been on some sort of loop here, on a loophole is what I'm picking up here with these cards. It's almost like a cassette on repeat. And there's a whole history of this. So you guys map out too. Okay, I'm going to use tough love with you because I feel as though tough love is what you need right now. Sorry. I feel like somewhere you had to realize your own power. Okay, but then also I feel like you had to realize your own value and worth with the King of Pentacles and stop thinking that this attachment is more important than your own livelihood or your own health or your own well-being. I feel like you had to realize somewhere that your worth wasn't attached to this thing here or this person, because what I'm picking up here is someone that keeps being lured back in or influenced to return back into a situation that, yes, could be comfortable, even if it's bad, okay, where you're being bought out of what you're truly worth. So be very careful right now of good talkers. Okay, be very careful of selling yourself and your future just for comfort. I know that this could sound extreme, and I don't mean it to sound scary. Okay, by the way, but yeah, don't sell yourself for temporary relief or temporary pleasure. I feel it's almost like I'm going to take a very extreme example here. It might not be necessarily the case for you, but it's like someone that keeps returning to an abuser, for instance, because this person has a financial or practical hold over them, just as an example, okay? By the way, again, it might not be the case that you're dealing with an abuser at all, but you will know. And if that's the case, then bless you. And I hope that you get away from that as soon as possible. But another example is someone that keeps recklessly spending or spending way beyond their means because they haven't yet detached from that cycle that led them to believe that they will always be poor or never be deserving of having their own financial independence or finances together or, I don't know, their own financial freedom or something like that. Maybe that they will never be capable of it. And part two, what I'm really seeing here is that this curse you're breaking is tied to an old contract around power and dependency. It's something that kept you in cycles of giving your energy away here to something or someone else, maybe to people, to relationships, maybe to systems or beliefs or even emotional patterns that were never meant to hold that much authority over you. And I feel like you guys are ready to say goodbye to the back and forth here as well, the Two of Pentacles and Wheel of Fortune, to where once you say something is over, it's truly over now and there's no going back again. There's no repeating. There's no going back and forth with that toxicity because of the temptation anymore, or because of internal shame, or because of fear of independence here. I'm not sure what this could be. Okay, so I feel this theme of shame might also be bigger. Sometimes we don't fix a problem in our life that keeps festering just because of our unprocessed shame surrounding it. And the devil alludes to that too. Shame is a powerful hold and something that can control us subconsciously to hold us down from taking action, sometimes action that could be beneficial for our well-being, that could be healthy for us. And it can hold our whole entire fate down by the balls too with the Wheel of Fortune. And if shame has somewhat kept some of you from breaking this cycle here, maybe because you think something has gone too far, maybe there's no going back, maybe you're beyond salvageable or something like that, then you had to first come to see that you weren't that much in a bad situation, or you had to first come to see that you weren't a fool, let's put it this way more, for falling for something here, or for being in a vulnerable position or vulnerable spot, or for needing comfort, or for being human once in a while, Balzu. But I'm telling you, shame doesn't serve the spirit of change. Okay, so recognizing where your power is does though. And here's the thing, the wheel of fortune, okay, is ready to shift everything inside of your life. The wheel of fortune is ruled by Jupiter, the biggest planet in our solar system. So when Jupiter's influence is at play, it usually goes on to touch several areas of our life at the same time. So what this is saying to me is that this pattern held several ties, okay, over multiple areas of your life at the same time. So once it breaks, it's going to be huge. It's going to release everything all at the same time. Maybe that this is why you guys are a little bit afraid here. Maybe you know that, it's not going to be the same on the other side of that. So what this is giving me is that this pattern held several ties. Several areas of your life were tied by this, I feel, whose blessings were on hold because of this. And I haven't pulled your other cards yet, but I'm feeling that from breaking this curse, you will be reclaiming ownership over your body, over your time, over your money, your choices, all of the tangible things that the King of Pentacles governs. So some of you might have had to hit a breaking point at some point to realize this. A moment where the same pattern repeated one too many times, or you hit rock bottom maybe with something and finally saw that the only way out, the only solution was moving forward, period. It was to create some sort of detachment here with whatever or whoever has been perpetuating devil energy here in your life, whatever has been perpetuating this cycle. But this release here, it kind of feels gradual though, I won't lie. Almost like launching something into orbit. It takes an immense surge of energy to break free from gravity. And in the beginning, the closer you are to the old pattern, the stronger its pull will feel. The old energy might still try to tug you back to test your resolve. Okay, Baltu? And not because you failed, but because you're in the process of fully breaking free from that orbit here. And it could feel like that right now, Paltu. Like you're in a period of probation almost, or withdrawal. But this is for your highest good. Okay, I want you to know that. And it's going to start to feel good very soon, okay? So don't regret this. Don't regret this. Let me start pulling a couple of other cards just to see what you guys will attract. What's coming next from this curse breaking for you guys? What energies are being liberated from this? Let's see. We have here the sun. Look at this, you guys. What the hell? There is so much light that I feel couldn't touch you while there was this darkness around. I feel like, again, this was a great cloud here, this devil energy in your life, huh? And if some of you have been feeling like it had taken a toll on your mental health, or maybe that you were even becoming more depressed, and maybe it's not your usual personality or usual type to be like that. I just feel like it was starting to take a toll on your health here for some reason. Maybe your physical health, your mental health, I'm not sure. But Sun card is the restoration of that life force energy and that light, so that the light can touch you now. If you guys have felt like it's been a very, very long time that the light hasn't reached you, hasn't touched you, curse here. I feel like dispelling that energy, letting go of that energy. You guys were too much around the dark here. You were too much around darker influences. I don't know what's up, but it could be a dark person that you were around. It could be that
something around your home or at home was too dark as well. I don't know, like maybe open the blinds or something like that. Literally, just, I don't know. I just feel like you guys needed to touch some light here. You needed a change of environment, maybe, for the lights to start touching you again. My God, if you guys have been thinking about moving too, okay, do so. It's a good move. Move. If you feel like there's something happening around your home or at home, or like there's just something about the place where you're living that has just started to take a toll somehow on you, makes you feel stuck, makes you feel suffocated maybe, or makes you feel surrounded by a lot of negativity. I'm not sure. Just I feel like getting the hell away out is going to remove that mist here, that big gray, thick mist. It's what I'm sensing very strongly about you. Yeah, we've got the key. Okay, let's get into this deck. Let's see what else is coming through. What is this going to liberate, Spirit? What does breaking this curse going to liberate? We have 2 cards here, so I won't keep shuffling. I just want 1 card at a time. Okay, we have the card of passion. Passion, rise up high. Flame my purpose, reach the sky. And 1 last card, Spirit. Okay, what is here? And we have romance. Okay, romance, it is a sacred power. Let it come to me this hour. This won't resonate for everyone. Okay, I'm very aware of that, but I feel like someone here on this file needs to hear what I'm about to say, so I'm going to say it. If someone here has been in a relationship with someone that is a bit of a, how can I say that? I don't know why I had the word party pooper in my mind, but it's a bit more serious than that. If you feel like you've been in a relationship with someone that has been stuck, maybe fighting their own demons for quite some time, or maybe that you're in a relationship with someone that is quite stuck in a dark place. And I'm not here saying like ditch your loved ones just because they're going through difficulties. Like, not at all. Like, we are all fighting our own different inner demons, okay, somewhere. And I feel like it's important that I feel like true love is sticking it through those times too, where sometimes our loved ones are going to go through their own darkness and their own struggles. But I mean it here in a sense where if it's not a pattern, but it's just become now a state of being. And I feel like you will feel it. If it's meant for you, maybe you're going to feel it in your bones. Like being in this relationship or being around this other person, whether this is romantic or not, could be platonic as well. It's almost, since you're so much around this person, it's maybe that it's almost started to tarnish your own optimism or your own hope, your own faith, your own joy of life. Maybe it has tarnished your own environment in some way for some reason. So if you feel like this resonates, I just feel like cleansing this attachment here is going to free up your social life. This could also be your romantic life. This could free up space for a new passion, new sun, new light to find you. Something to look forward to, something that is exciting. And I feel like it's been a while for you guys. Like, you guys have been looking up for a real excitement and not just something that feels like a drug where it's just like, yes, every time you go back towards it, yes, it gives you that kick. Yes, it gives you that passion maybe, but also there's a period of withdrawal all the time. It's almost like a drug, right? It's like, yes, it's fun while you're consuming it, but then after maybe you get a headache, maybe you get symptoms, maybe maybe you feel shitty. Maybe you feel depressed. Maybe you feel like your life doesn't hold meaning anymore after you're done with your trip. You know, and it's just a metaphorical way of speaking here. But if a pattern has felt addictive here, I feel like it's time to pull away here. And the key here also makes me think like this is going to unlock doors for you guys. If you have felt like a door keeps being closed for you, especially in terms of your romantic life or just your passion for life in general, like romance is also that, right? It's not just like romance in a sense like your romantic partnerships and stuff like that, but it's also about romancing life to me, like with this kind of passion and the sun as well. It's just like feeling passionate about life in general. Okay. I feel like this is the key. This is the key here for you guys, is getting rid of this attachment here. That's the curse here that you guys are breaking free of this season, I feel. And watch things just start to glow, just start to feel so much lighter inside of your body, inside of your mental space, once you really pull away from this. Pal 2, this is all that I'm picking up for you today. Thank you so much for having shared sacred space with me and allow me to read your cards. If you've been interested in working with me on one-on-one, the links to my website and Etsy shop will be down below. And the description box, it will be my pleasure to meet you and to do a personal reading for you on any matter that you may need specific attention. And also I left the links to my social medias if you want to follow my work or see what I'm up to or where I'll be next for a future live gig around Montreal, around Ontario. And yeah, on that, I send you so much love and a big cosmic hug, and see you in the next one. Mwah. Bye bye. Hello, Pal 3, and welcome to your reading. So let's dive into the cards you guys have received right away to see which cards are binding that you guys are currently breaking inside of your life, any soul contract that you could be ready to dissolve. So yeah, let's see what you've got. So we are starting with the 10 of Swords reversed. And then we have, this is the Page of Pentacles. And then we have the Tower reversed. Then we have the 8 of Cups also reversed. Lots of reversals for you guys. Then in your oracle cards, we have the card of Animal. And I believe that this is from the movie Island of Lost Souls, if I'm not mistaken. Then we have, ooh, I love this card. We have the card of Love from Bride of Frankenstein. And we have Tree and a Spider. So, Pal 3. The first strong feeling that I'm getting with your cards, and yeah, it's a pretty strong one, is the feeling like you are caught in a web that you cannot seem to leave, or like you cannot be set free from something here. I feel like the curse you're breaking definitely is surrounding this feeling. And the card of Animal brings up this idea of like the humanization and control of being tamed, experimented on, or shaped by external authority. There's something about this pal that really screams to me, I was made to feel wrong for being who I am somewhere. And even this card of Love from Bride of Frankenstein, it seems to bring up the wound of conditional love, of being like created for someone else's needs, if you see where I'm going here. Now, this Tree card could also hint that this curse could have been transferred through your roots or your family or inherited patterns, things of that nature. That is if you didn't create this curse for yourself to begin with. And there's also something here about this spa surrounding new opportunity, especially with this Page of Pentacles being next to this 10 of Swords reversed. I don't know if you guys have received lately an opportunity or maybe a chance to leave a situation or an escape, or the chance to experience something new, or maybe that you've just hit rock bottom. Maybe you've hit your lowest point that you could hit with something with this Ten of Swords reverse. And from now on, it's like from there, things can only get better. But in order to start feeling like freedom was your option, you guys had to come to see that there was a possibility for a different reality available to you here. And it's so odd, but it feels to me like there was an ending or a sudden loss, especially because the Ten of Swords and Tower card, they can both speak about that, even the Eight of Cups to some degree. So maybe that something like that happened and sort of reawakened this curse energy here that was sort of never dealt with. This ending could have been the death of a dream. Okay, that came crashing before you here. But this curse pile 3 was trying to trap you somewhere, and it was trying to close your third eye completely. And that to me is alarming, because the third eye is this energy center that is in charge of daydreaming and envisioning things before they happen or before they even come to fruition inside of her life. So it's like, if the third eye is interfered with or if it's hindered, it becomes like almost nearly impossible for us to be able to imagine a different reality than the one we're currently living right now. If we are not able to see different possibilities available to us for the future, then we will commit to the present, even if this present is less than ideal. So this Page of Pentacles is saying that somewhere you had to come to see your own potential within the situation. And this is what I see is breaking you free from this energy here. This energy that wants to sort of dig its claws around you and not make you move or change anything right now about your life. Like, what's the point of changing if I don't even see something else as a possibility for myself? You see what I mean? Like, what's the point of leaving if I have nowhere to go? Eight of Cups reversed. I also feel that somewhere, in order to break this curse, you guys had to come to accept probably the inevitable nature of unexpected changes that come with life, or that might have come here within your situation. Something that happened here to shake you, it didn't happen because you're unworthy of what you want, pile 3, okay? And I feel like this point, I need to make it clear to you, but somewhere I feel like you guys were struggling, trusting in some sort of process here. And I feel like you guys might have decided that a loss in your life or something not working out meant that a reality where you keep being on the losing side is something you're doomed to repeat over and over and over again. But I feel like this was a wake-up call here to not commit to failure so much that you set yourself and your life up for it. Pile 3. Like, this could be that some of you here experience like something like a breakup, or the loss of a job, the loss of a pretty big dream here, the loss of something quite important, it seems like. Maybe that you've been through an actual death. This could be that you guys experienced something you've internalized here as a failure, and since then it could have been difficult to get back up on your own 2 feet, or to sort of like believe in yourself here. It's this feeling of like, this is the end of this, and therefore this is the end of me. And that could be true, especially if you've lost yourself. Okay, and someone or something else, pile 3, with this kind of animal and love. But pile 3, I feel that somewhere you were so caught up here in trying to make something work, in trying to root down something, anchor it in your reality with the tree, that you could have strayed away from yourself or from your path here. Okay. And because the thing about the Tower is that this is a card of divine intervention. It's about striking up the structures we've attached too much of our own ego to. And that are basically standing in a way of us realizing our true potential here, especially next to this Page of Pentacles. And reverse, this can sometimes come across as the universe coming through to like remove something inside of your life before it had the chance to like grow so big and grow so strong that it would have been even harder to let it go, or to see sort of like what was wrong about it in a sense. You had to stop holding on to the idea of something that was making you miss out on something else here. Okay? Because holding on to this could have created this loop of almost being stuck, being the spectator here, like of your own life. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but and thinking that making this work was like your only option almost, and it never was. It never was your only option, Pal 3. Spirit was scared almost to see you give your life away and your power away to this, is what I'm picking up here. Sometimes we cling on so tightly to the hopes we've built around something that they begin to feed into our fear of change or of anything that might take a different shape. But love isn't earned, okay, through obedience. It's received through authenticity. And to be human is not to be tame, but to be alive, to be raw, feeling, ever changing. So this page of Pentacles is what I see is breaking this curse here. This is the only card upright for you guys. This is the rebirth of curiosity, of experimentation, trying something again. It's the willingness to start again from scratch. It's the possibility of a new start here, to rebuild your life from a more solid place, from a place of self-trust. And here's the thing, I feel that this curse here is like breaking, not with like one grand event in particular. Like I don't feel like this curse is breaking from this necessarily falling here, this tower like crashing down. But I feel like this curse here is breaking from the consistent choice, okay, to believe that you can create something better. So this is about waking up each day with this Page of Pentacles and saying, maybe there is more for me than this. And the Eight of Cups reverse tells me that your greatest test right now, Pal 3, might be to not return, might be to not go back, to not return to the places and habits or people that have already proved themselves that it couldn't work out for you right now. For some reason, it's so weird because I feel like that this must have been like a very hard hit. Like this must have been like quite hard for your nervous system to try to figure out how you could hold on to something that constantly felt like it was slipping in between your fingers, like constantly trying to hold on to something that felt like it was always on the verge of crashing from one day to the next. And the moment that it's like you decided to focus on changing your life instead with this Page of Pentacles and inviting in like new blessings instead of focusing on that thing or that person or that place is when things started to get so much more better for you. It's what allowed for the spell here to start to dispel. And there's something here that there's someone here that needs to hear this, but I'm picking up too on the energy of someone that could have focused so hard on trying not to be alone or not having to like figure out something on their own. And that's the thing. This person here could have lost so much of their energy trying to make something that was failing work. But the moment that they stop focusing on that, things start to get better for them. I feel that trying to turn this failure, whatever this is here, into a win inside of your life without ever feeling sure of the outcome of this was putting so much stress on you that was almost working you into a depression of some kind. But the Eight of Cups, it points to a place and time, a point in time where someone finally decides to walk away from his past experiences. And with this card being reversed, I am not picking up on you returning, but I am picking up on you not giving up on yourself or on the potential, okay, on this Page of Pentacles here, of seeing this dream work just elsewhere. So Pal 3, it's not like it was wrong of you to have the dreams and hopes that you had. I just feel like you had to surrender the outcome to spirit here. And also, I just feel like you were just trying to make this dream work in a wrong place more than likely. Or you were trying to make it work in a wrong direction so much that you could have forgotten the other ways in which this thing here could manifest for you. So let's start pulling some oracle cards, okay, for you. Let's see what's coming next, or from like breaking this curse, or what energies are being liberated from this. Let's see, Spirit. Ooh, what do you see is being freed? Okay, for pile 3, we have the mice, and we have here the coffin. Okay, so you guys, this is wild. Okay, I just had to look up these 2 cards here again because I don't know, I'm not familiar with like all of the traditional interpretations associated with my Lenormand cards. And so I just wanted to take a quick look at it before I start interpreting them. But look at this, okay? Look at what the mice, it says here. Discard energy, negative. It says here, erosion, gnawing, infectious disease, loss, parasites, stress, death, vermin, waste, worry. So full meaning, things that nibble away at you are found here, disrupting things, and the unexpected are what the mice bring to the cards around it. Uneasiness and things that cause you stress and worry are represented here. Illness can be a factor with this card as well. And I'll look at this coffin card. This coffin card, it says the card energy is negative again, and it says here, bankruptcy, box, confinement, death, endings, grief, illness, negative events, sickness, transformation. And it says the full meaning. Part of the Sinister 7, the coffin indicates that an important life transformation is about to happen. A serious illness can be coming if the tree card is nearby. And look at this. I know that this is not from the Lenormand deck, but we have a tree card here. Like, what the hell? This is an ending of some sort, perhaps related to a job, relationship, or friendship. It may not always be for the worse because changes can be positive, but usually the immediate period surrounding the coffin is troublesome. Oh my God, you guys, and those 2 cards, they talk about illness or your health in general. Like, you guys, I just feel like allowing some sort of ending to happen not only is what is going to resume the transformation process that was supposed to happen from this, but not only that, but I also feel like there's something about your health here that is going to massively improve from this here, whether this is your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health. And here's the thing, with that 8 of Cups reverse, I haven't said that in your reading, but that's something that I had like a lingering feeling of almost. It almost felt, this card, like there was something emotionally that you were stuck brewing. It's almost like emotionally you were still stuck on this and you weren't allowing yourself to release those emotions. And you guys, I feel like this was starting to affect your health. Okay, so as soon as you started to accept this ending here, whatever it was and wherever it was in your life, I feel like this is just a massive release over your health. So even if you've been wanting to ameliorate your health, or have been like wanting to maybe go on a more conscious journey for when it comes to maybe eating or working out, or maybe losing weight, or I don't know, gaining weight. I know that it's different for everybody, right? Like a health journey is not always about losing weight. For some people, it's about gaining some. So I just feel like, watch this clear up, or watch this sort of blocks around this journey start to loosen as you accept this energy here, as you accept this loss. I feel like the curse could have had a massive hold over your health, you guys. Something could have been deteriorating here. And the coffin also tells me that the more immobile that you were becoming, the worse it would get, in terms of like just feeling the energy again to be able to start something, or to be able to get back on track with something that you had placed on pause maybe while you were dealing with all of this here. Oh my God. Let's see what else is coming through here. Spirit, what else is this liberating in the life of my pile 3? We have again a card about love here. We have love there. We have love here. It says, Aphrodite, a call to thee to bring a true love here to me. And let's pull one last card. Feels like this one wanted to flip out. So I feel like this was your card. It says here, trust. I am safe. I am secure. In love, I trust. My fate endures. Again, about love. Oh my God, you guys. This curse could have had a massive hold over your love life as well. Or just over your relationship with someone close inside of your life. Not necessarily like love life, but it could have been like a loved one. Maybe. Even especially since this card of animal talks about like power dynamics as well, this card. So I just feel like here, you know, mice are a vermin. So even though they're really cute, I really love them. I love mice. I really, really have a hard time when they're in my home. I'm just like, no, go away. I don't want to hurt you. Anyways, so yeah, I love mice. They're really cute, but in this deck, they're considered to be a mere vermin. So yeah, that to me is almost saying like something was becoming unhealthy here. Something was becoming unhealthy. And this could have been related to the ways certain experiences shaped you to see love or to express it or to be open or closed to it. How much you would trust in it, maybe. There's just a massive release coming from this area of your life for you guys. Maybe that you guys were holding on to your hopes or your dreams related to someone that you loved, and maybe that it was keeping you from experiencing true love somewhere. To experience someone that could offer you this love back in return. And if this is not romantic, then maybe that this is like for instance, maybe relating to a family member, for instance, like maybe you were so much holding on to this idea of trying to repair that relationship, thinking that the love you were seeking or missing out on, or that you felt was missing, could only be found there. And it's almost like as you start sort of focusing on other things, you discover that there's real love to be found just in other type of relationships that can be just as healing, just as nurturing for you. So you guys just trust in some sort of ending inside of your life, okay? Whatever it may be. I feel like even breaking this curse here could have you become more trusting of endings in general as well. Not seeing them as a bad thing, not necessarily seeing them as a proof that something wrong that should have never happened here has happened. Because it's not always the case. Sometimes there's something we came to experience within something or within certain relationships, within a particular journey. There's something we came to experience in there. And that experience that we've gained is never a loss of time. It might be one piece of the puzzle that connects us to the next. It's just part of nature. It's part of being on the journey here. And I feel like it was just time for you guys to come and accept that. But Pile 3, this is all that I am picking up for you. Thank you so much for having shared sacred space with me today and for having allowed me to read your cards. If you've been interested in working with me one-on-one, the links to my website and Etsy shop will be down below in the description box. This will be my pleasure to meet you and to do a personal reading one-on-one for you on any matters of your choice that may need my specific attention. And I also left my links to my social medias if you want to follow my work or maybe see what I'm up to and where I'll be next for a future live gig around Montreal, Ontario, or something like that. And yeah, on that, I send you so much love and also a big cosmic hug. Mwah. See you in the next one.